Hey, Bakhatsu Dumelang, welcome, and thank you for choosing us. This is Authorpreneur Book Review Show, and I am Martin Manamela. Today, I am with one of the wonderful authors. He's been here before, and his name is Velindaba Ongwetsi Bugari. Switch on. Switch on.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thanks.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me back here.
Yeah, no, the viewers are getting used to you now with your products, eh? But thank you so much for not being lazy and making sure that you write for us so that we can be able to get the strategies and the skills that needed for us to go forward in life.
Yes.
So, switch on.
Yes.
What inspired you to write the book?
What actually inspired me to write the book was the fact that, one day I just imagined myself walking inside the room or the house. And the house that is full of everything that you ever wanted. But the challenge was that it was dark inside. Though the house is opened, but it's dark inside. And I realized that in our lives, we want things, but we can't see. But until you switch that, power on, then you'll never get what you want. So this is what actually inspired me to write Switch On, because we may talk and say, yes, it's easy, yes, we can do it and that, but at the end of the day, if you're not switched on in terms of your skills, if you're not switched on in terms of your winning habits, because what separates people who are successful from those who are not, it's just a matter of habits, because habits drives your priorities. If your habits are those things that are driving you without you even thinking about them. So if you can just identify them and correct them, then you'll be driven nicely. Because, you think of something like a car. This is an analogy that I've made in a book as well. You think of a car has got 4 wheels. And if all 4 wheels are faced in all different directions, it doesn't matter how powerful the car is. It doesn't really matter how big the engine is, but that car won't go anywhere. Because the wheels are focused.
To be focused, because if you're all over the place, then you cannot be able to go on a particular direction because you're everywhere.
Precisely, because it means your thoughts and your habits, and then your dreams, and then your all the things and the actions must be aligned. Because you may want something, but you find that your habits are not allowing you to do that. Your habits are taking you north, but you want to go south. So that's something that you need to be very careful of in terms of. That's why it's very important, first of all, to know what your dream is. So that when you switch on towards that dream. Because people will say...
When you started, when you say that you go into the room and it's dark,
yes,
it just reminds me that there's a lot of people out there who somehow are walking around trying to make it in life, but they are not aware of certain things that they need to apply in order for them to realize their dreams.
Absolutely. And it comes back to this issue as well of beliefs. And that's one of the chapters as well that I've written about.
Yes.
When it comes to beliefs are those things that drive you, to behave in a certain way and to think in a certain way. Because beliefs, what is a belief? A belief is just, a conviction that you have about something, which may be true and which may be false. So if you believe that you'll never make it in life, I can come and tell you that you are so powerful, you've got all the things going for you, but you won't see it. So it's a mental state until you switch on and make yourself realize and believe that you can actually make it. Because people who are successful, they are not successful by mistake. They can't just say, I bumped into success. Success is a process that is deliberate. It means you need to plan for it. You need to have this conviction about it. Because if you don't believe you can achieve it, you will never achieve it. That's why there's that saying that if you can't believe it, you can't have it. Because it means you are just doing things. You are going through the emotions. And you don't want that.
You are existing. You're not yet alive.
You are just existing. You put it nicely.
Yeah, so no, we're talking about switching on. And every time when a person talks about switch on, I'm thinking of the mind.
Yes.
And in one of the chapters, you're saying, there's a chapter here talking about the amazing power of the mind.
Yes, I'm talking about the amazing power of the mind. So all of us, when we were born with 6 muscles.
Yes.
These muscles, I'm talking about the mental muscles, the muscles of the mind, in your brain. So you've got the thinking muscles. These are the muscles that allow you to think. They allow you to think, they are developed like any muscle. Then you've got muscles that are called memory muscles. Your memory muscles are developed. It means to remember things and to analyze them and to process them. You need that because all of us are born with them. You need intuition. muscles. Intuition muscles are the sixth sense. You know, when someone talks about the gut feel, I'm sure it has happened to you, Martin, where people present you with everything, like all the facts. You can see them, but deep down in you, you feel like, no, man, this can't be right. Something is not right here. You know, so that's a gut feel. There are many things in life that you have done, and you realize that you did not listen or follow your gut feel. And then it's something that there's a skill. I teach about those skills in terms of how can you develop that. And then you've got another one, which is called perception. Perception muscle is a muscle that will help you, for an example, to start saying, if someone talks to you, don't always be stubborn and just always, you know, try to prevent or to protect your stance. Always try to understand them in terms of where they're coming from. Because it's only when you understand where they're coming from, then you'll be able to interact with them. But most people just tell you, no, this is how it is. Sometimes people come up with good ideas. I'm here because I've listened to other people. And then you've got another one. I've learned from them. And I'm always open to learning. And then you've got another one, which is called the will. The will is the ability to focus on that one thing and one thing only, not to be all over the place. I mean, right now, there are people, when you receive a message from the phone, people stop everything. They want to check the phone. And when they were doing something, it means that focus is gone. Now they're checking. Someone calls, and they're all over the place. They're not focused. If you look at people who are successful in life, who do well, are people who are focused. They just switch off everything else and switch on this particular one. That's something that makes one successful.
So what is power talk? Because in one of the chapters you're talking about that.
Yes, when you talk about power talk, is, you know, for you to achieve anything, you need to talk good to yourself. There are two types of communication. There's internal communication and there's external communication. Internal communication is about you believing in yourself, talking to yourself well, and say, I'm worthy of this. I can do this. You know what? I deserve this. I deserve the best that life has to offer. Because when you do that, then you manifest. It means you can influence through your talks and through your actions because you believe in it. You can't be behaving in a positive way whereas you are negative inside. So it means there must be this alignment between your internal communication and your external communication.
That's very, very wonderful, because a lot of people out there, they are more about wanting motivation all the time, but the internal communication is still in tatters.
That's exactly right. That's the reason why people say, no, I don't believe in motivation. Motivation is like you're saying a car cannot drive without fuel. Motivation is like fuel in a car. But at the end of the day, it's not the car. But at the end of the day, it comes back to you. How do you talk to yourself? Do you talk to yourself with respect? With love? Do you talk with dignity? Or do you just, when people come and tell you and say, Martin, you are great, and you look at them and say, are they talking to me? You've got to know that. Yeah. So that's the power talk. That's something that's very important.
You have to know how to receive that.
You've got to know how to receive it. And then if people come to me, they say to me, but Velu, you're stupid. I just look at them and say, thank you for letting me know. Because I know I'm not stupid. That's just, so that self-talk, that power talk, therefore helps you to understand such things so that you can be able to make sense of things. So that's very important to one's success. It's not just about getting a lot of information. I'm sure you know of people who are highly educated, but still, they've got no results to show for it. Yeah. And they're just so educated to tell you about things. Yeah, I know about this, I know about that, but the results are not showing. Yeah. Why is that? It comes back to the mindset, that power talk, that internal communication.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm switched on right now. And I want you at home to be switched on as well. So go out there, get this book, Velu Ndaba, Switch On. Because a lot of people are sleeping. So you need to wake up. Thank you so much. This is Book Review, and I am Martin Manamela.